If you're self employed, you freelance, or your income changes month to month, there is a very specific type of stress that comes with that. And it's not just that some months are better than others, is that life unfortunately still expects you to pay your bills like your income is salaried or guaranteed. Now, if I've just described what you've been experiencing, I want to make sure that you leave with something that is going to be actionable for spending your time with me. So, here are three things you're going to get from watching this video. First, I'm going to give you a framework that makes your personal finances feel more predictable, even though your income isn't. Second, I'll show you the one rule for surplus months that stops you needing to use debt in the slim months. And third, I'm going to give you the spreadsheet that I've been using in my own business for the past 6 years that has helped me navigate irregular income, but has also helped me separate my business finance and my personal finance so I can support my lifestyle and build a considerable financial buffer. The real issue with irregular income is that it creates two problems at the same time. First, in the lean months, your cash flow doesn't meet your expenditure needs, so the difference is often bridged using debt. It could be credit cards, overdrafts, other forms of personal debt. And second, in a good month, the surplus goes to repay the debt from the months where you were short. And this can leave you with this feeling of being constantly behind or feeling under financial pressure. Now, we've all heard this stat that 1 in 10 people in the UK have no savings at all, and 21% of people have less than £1,000 in savings. The truth is, you're very likely to fall into that category if you have irregular income. But that doesn't have to be the case with the right framework in place. So you're asking now, what does that framework look like? Let me show you. This framework is about three fundamental ideas. The first is the floor, and this is what has to be covered from an expense point of view every month with no questions asked. The second is a buffer, and this is what's going to stop you from using credit cards, overdrafts, payday loans, other debt facilities as your main port of resort when you have a lean month. And the third is play. Now, this is what is generally left over or safe after the first two have been handled. And the reason why this works is simple. When you're living with irregular income, it can be really difficult to prioritize where money should go when you have surplus with competing financial responsibilities. And I've been there many times, and this is where, if I'm honest, it can be really tricky and maybe even stressful. This framework treats surplus as stability until proven otherwise. And this is a really important way of thinking about things in a practical setting. So let's walk you through now how to set your floor. And this bit we can do together. So if you have your phone, I want you to grab your phone. I'm on an iPhone and I'm going to open up my Notes app. Do the same if you've got an iPhone. If you're on Android, just use whatever note taking application you have in there. Now, the reason why we want to have this on the phone is because you're always going to have your phone in your pocket. And it means that if you were to, I don't know, fall into some issues where you need to be on top of things, it's right there on your person, it's accessible immediately. So once you've opened up your note taking app, what you want to do is you want to list off the top of your head everything that you think that you need to pay for on a monthly basis. And these will be things that you're committed to. So, for example, for me, under my floor, I've got mortgage, utilities, food, transport, phone slash internet. I've got insurance. I don't have any debt personally, but if you do have debt, you're going to have to pay for your debt, whether it's HP, your car finance, or your personal loans or your credit cards. You need to account for those. So I put hypothetically here debt £120, council tax, water. Now, you might have childcare costs, you might have a ton of other things. The idea is, off the top of your head, write down what you know, and then you need to go tally this up with your bank statement. Now, the bank statement element is really important because the bank statement is going to be a little bit more accurate and transparent in terms of what you're paying for on a monthly basis. But not only that, there will be things that aren't going to be on your direct debit list that you're paying for. These will be things that perhaps are recurring payments on your card, either monthly, quarterly, or maybe even yearly, that still constitute your core expenditure. So be really thorough with this. Go through the bank statements, make sure you know everything down. And once you've done that, you want to tally up the total. So for my example right here, my total is 2,195 pounds. Now, I know that this is now my floor. And this is important because if you have an irregular income, so say you're a freelancer, you're self employed, and particularly if you are a company director in a limited company, you will have money coming in on a monthly basis under your business endeavors. And in a limited company, you then pay yourself. you now have an amount of money that is the minimum you need to pay yourself on a monthly basis to ensure that all of your essential bills are covered without question. Now, I work with a lot of people in this space, in the business kind of like entrepreneurial space on a coaching capacity. And oftentimes, what people will do is just give themselves a little bit of an extra buffer. So maybe three, four, maybe 500 quid extra just to cover those things that are unforeseen that often happen when life does its thing. So we know what your floor is right now. For me, in this example, it's 2,195. We now need to move on to the second thing in this framework, which is the buffer. Now, your buffer is your get out of jail free card every single time. And this is an important element, which is not a brand new concept. We talk about this in emergency funding all of the time. But I do a lot of work with business owners in this space, and the amount of business owners, freelancers that don't have a separation between their business and their personal income is frankly, it's unbelievable to me. But if you don't separate the two, it's just a recipe for disaster. So what we want to do is give you this framework, this idea that is going to allow you to build your finances to a point where you're able to preempt and have a buffer in your personal finances so that in your down months where you can't cover your floor, you're not using things like credit cards and overdrafts, getting yourself into a vicious cycle. Now, I'm going to use a scribe just to illustrate what I'm talking about here, okay? Now, we already know, according to the exercise here, that this is what your floor is. Your floor is £2,195. Now, when we talk about buffering, right? This idea of having a buffer, the idea is you're going to have maybe 1, 3, or maybe even 6 months of your floor. This is going to give you peace of mind. This is your get out of jail free card. Now, the reality is when you are running a business and you do have irregular income, let's just take this year, for example, we're in January right now. January is typically quiet for a lot of businesses. So let's just say in January of 2026 so far, you've only been able to bill and you've got about £1,900 coming in. In this month, you're short, okay? Only by a little bit, but you're still short, which means that if you don't have a buffer in place already, you're likely going to be looking to bridge the difference between what you've been able to pull in and what your floor is. But the good news is things tend to pick up February, March. So let's just have a look at February. Let's just say in February, you're able to pull in something like £7,000. All right. Now you've got a really, really good buffer. You've got circa 5K in surplus. Now, what a lot of individuals who are self-employed or run their own business will do when they get this amount of money in is they'll just go spend. And they'll allocate money to things that perhaps they've missed in previous months because they're playing catch up. What I try and get business owners that I work with to do is to think about this amount strategically, okay? So we know that you are £5,000 in surplus. So when we talk about buffering, we want to start with at least having 1 month's worth of a buffer available to you. In this example, you have the ability to be able to do that. So I always advocate for people taking enough out of the business, obviously bearing in mind that you've got to pay tax and pension contributions and all this other stuff. And if you're not paying into a pension, you absolutely should, especially as a business owner in a limited company. You can offset costs, helps reduce your corporation tax. But the idea is you take enough so that you can put some money aside towards your 1 month buffering. That is going to be a massive get out of jail free card when you have other months that are basically quiet. I always advocate for business owners to also leave some kind of float within their business. And to be honest, this has been one of the key things that has helped me build some security moving forward. Well, over the past 6 years since I've been running my business, is the fact that I always have a good amount of money in my business account at all times. So I know that I've got enough money in the business to invest in projects, invest in tech that I might need for this channel to be able to just do business and also be able to pay myself. It is a dangerous game when businesses run so thin that when VAT time comes around, all of a sudden you've got to do the extra work to get the VAT, and that then exacerbates the issue that you have when you've got to calculate that you've also got to pay corporation tax on the money that you're earning as well. Separating your business and your personal finance is very, very important. So in February, you've got surplus. Okay, so where you can, and this is where you need to be methodical, take out what you can in surplus to make sure that you're able to build yourself at least this 1 month buffer. Because again, that's going to be your get out of jail free card. You might decide to do this in phases, but I say that if you can do that in 1 month, do it where you can to save yourself the stress of not having enough money. Because it could be that in March, you only have a month where you pulled in £4,000. It's still going to be more than your floor, but at the same time, what you're now doing is you're now looking at, okay, how do you organize your finances? In this instance, you're going to have just under £2,000. I'm going to call it £2,000 just for the ease of numbers here, in surplus. The question then becomes, do you pull a little bit of extra out here? Maybe not all of it, maybe £500 to top this up. But all of a sudden you're at 2,695 to give you a bit more of a buffer and still leaving some money in the business for cash flow, for things that you need to pay for. That will be for you to decide. But this buffering idea is really important in this framework. The third part of this framework is play. And play is where you get to a stage where you've got the floor covered, you've got adequate buffer, and you have surplus cash, which you can just go and spend on things. This would be where you would invest from, where you would save for a deposit from, so on and so forth. But let me just share with you a mistake that I often see working with people in the business space on coaching terms. And that is, a lot of people will underestimate and not be true to how much they need in a buffer before they start spending the play money. Okay. This is really important. And the reason why I say it's important to be true to yourself is because think about the wider picture. If you don't have an adequate buffer, what it's going to do is it's going to apply pressure. Now, if you're under pressure, it is very likely that you're going to be stressed. You're not going to be great in home and home life, I would argue. You're probably not going to be as effective as you could be in business. And that in itself gets you into a vicious cycle of just not being productive or being able to operate at your highest level. So being true to yourself around, how much buffer do I need to give myself peace of mind so I know that home is taken care of and I can really throw myself into work to grow further is so, so important. Don't start spending the play money before the buffer is in place. Now, I also want to give you a hack, which I think is very important because I've often seen this as a mistake with people as well. You need to have partitions. You need to be able to separate your cash. The mistake that I see a lot of people make is they will have everything in one account. That you need to stop doing. You need to have your floor in one account. That could be your current account. You have your buffer in a separate account or in a separate space in your account. The same thing will go for your play money as well. Having everything separated or partitioned will mean that psychologically, you know that these little pots of money are meant for different things, and that greatly impacts your impulsive decision making. And that's one of the things that can be a very big hindrance to you progressing from a financial point of view. So make sure that you have separation and you don't spend your play money before you have an adequate buffer, and certainly not before you've covered your floor. All right, so there we are. I've really enjoyed making this video for you, if I'm honest, and I hope that you've got something practical, at least some food for thought from this as well. I did say at the top of the video that I'm going to give you my personal worksheet that I've been using in my business for the past 6 years. This thing has helped me streamline my business, understand what I have coming in, and it's helped me build financial security in terms of not just my business, but also on my personal side as well. You'll be able to download that using the link pinned in the comment section down below. I also just want to finish on saying this. Look, if you're the type of person where you're earning well, but you realize there's a gap in your finances, maybe you've got a few goals that you just stop and start on, you're not quite making the progress that you would like. You might want to buy your first home and it's stop and start. You might want to start investing, but you're not really too sure how to begin, and you're not really too sure if you're in the right space to begin. You might be struggling with debt, for example, and it's just that niggling thing that is like, I know that I need to do something and I know what to do, but I just struggle, I fall off. If you value structured support, monthly nudges, community, and you enjoy having someone hold you accountable to the goals that you set, then I really want to encourage you, go and join the wait list for our community. It is coming very shortly. And this isn't just in the community where we're going to plop you in there and going to be left to your own devices. This is a full 12-month thing where you're going to have support all the way through. So we're going to set goals with you from day one. And I know that we can get transformation because I've been running this in private cohorts for the past 2 to 3 years. The transformations we've got from people is unbelievable. But the ongoing support to help you be consistent towards your goals is really where the difference is going to lie. So, again, if I've just described you in any way, shape, or form, just get on the wait list and wait to see the offer. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. It is a year. Don't be like, oh my God, this thing's going to be really expensive. I'm not going to bother. Just get on the wait list. Trust me. And look, when it's ready, you'll get the communication out, and I would love to see you inside. But if you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to smash the like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing as well. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.